But yeah, so we're removing the 750cc Seimens Dekas for some 2300cc Seimens Dekas. Both are sold as low impedance injectors, so these should just plug and play with no real extra modifications being needed or any issues. So it should plug and play once we put our Haltech in. And so yeah, that's what we're doing to get ready for our dyno day very soon. You guys have seen me do this a couple of times before due to the fact that I've posted multiple times taking apart this manifold and trying to replace injectors, due to the fact that first it seemed like injectors were my only problem when the car first died on me, but it was actually a handful of problems, including timing was off, the fuel pressure regulator was bad, and the injectors were semi-clogged almost. So we got all that fixed, and then we had the car put together for a while. So yeah, this is probably gonna be like the third time I've done this, so I'm kind of gonna breeze through it as far as what I'm showing of the process. And well, now I'm also not like as much willing to get a plenum unless it becomes a power restriction, because as much as I like show car stuff and I like my car to look good, if it works, it works. I'm that type of person. If the car's putting the power down and it's not being restricted, I don't really care to spend more than I have to. So yeah, alright, let's get the blow off valve off. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna keep doing this multiple times, I would think so, due to the fact that I'm more than likely not going to be getting a plenum sometime soon. I have much more priority areas where to spend the money first, so that's where the money's going to go first. A plenum would be like would be nice type thing. While this job may seem like it's going to suck if you haven't owned a 2JZ powered car, let me tell you, you will be forced to do this quite a couple of times if you don't upgrade the plenum before you put the motor in the car. So eventually you become pretty comfortable with it, as I have. It still takes some time, no doubt, but it's definitely not impossible. This little extendo is actually pretty neat. Bought it at Harbor Freight. Is something I highly recommend you guys get if you need a little more leverage, or if you just want a little more comfort reaching something that might be harder to reach otherwise. Definitely recommend this wrench. Actually really nice to have. One of my favorite tools I purchased, actually. Not only does it give you more reach, but it actually gives you considerable amount of more leverage. Oh, that one's with a nut on the back. I'm gonna have to get back to that one. Oh wow, that one came loose. Rail's definitely gonna have to come out, so might as well do this fitting already. Alright, so we've gotten some of the hardest bolts out of the way. Those being the ones that have the grounds behind them on some nuts. It's ready to be removed. Okay, so now that we pretty much have full access to the fuel rail, things get much easier from here on out as far as this job goes. Probably gonna clean them up a bit. Probably gonna clean up this area a bit. A bit of a mess. I never bothered to the first time around. Probably should do it this time. That's one. Get this out. Regulator can chill down here for a bit. 6mm Allen socket for these. Just getting these off to make sure I'm not dropping a bunch of stuff. You'd be surprised. It's like $40 eBay rail the car came with, or however much this costed. But all I know is it's a generic eBay rail. It's actually hasn't really been affecting flow at all. It's been flowing fine, and I haven't had any leaks, so I have no complaints with this one actually. Even if some people have had pretty bad experiences with them. The only reason I don't get a better rail is simply because I'm planning on eventually getting a plenum at some point. So with the plenum, a lot of times there's a fuel rail that comes with it, so it's wasted money if you buy a fuel rail and you're gonna get a plenum. Highly recommend you guys get some kind of motor oil or grease. Grease up your O-rings before you install your fuel injectors into your rail, like so. It's a very slight amount. Just grease it up. And if anything, grease up the ones on the bottom slightly too. I'm not sure if these need O-rings stacked like the other ones did. Well, that works for sure. That's not coming out. This one goes down so I can put the connector more easily, and then the rest go up, I believe. I will say, getting the injectors on with these cheaper rails does absolutely suck, since they don't really sit perfectly. However, as far as leaks and do they function, I have not had any issues with these, so I'm gonna put it right back together. Alright guys, so I didn't button it up in one day as I wanted to, and well, things have gotten a little more complicated. First off, I noticed the rubber lines the car came with, because it does have a braided stainless line all the way under the car, but then you have these that are rubber. So I'm considering changing these to Teflon lines, of course, you know, full braided all over the car, every line possible, because I want to run E85 on this thing a lot more than I do pump gas, even if I'm gonna have flex fuel, for one thing. For another, second thing, you'll notice these leaks right here. It doesn't look too good on, that's cylinder 5 and cylinder 3. I'd be willing to bet no one has replaced this intake manifold gasket in the 20 plus years of existence of this 2J. So we're gonna take this apart and do it as well. I know in theory I should also do that for the head gasket, but that's going to be a lot more involved. So I guess I'll let it pass. I mean, and if I'm going to do something, maybe just head studs. But yeah, definitely going to do this intake manifold gasket. It's actually, it seems easier than I expected to remove, I'll tell you that. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the extra step to get this done. Either way, the fuel rail can stay bolted in, of course. So we're not going to have much trouble with that. No, gonna have to remove that bracket. Almost didn't spot that. Yeah, there's some little stuff we're gonna have to put some extra work in to remove. But other than that, it doesn't look too difficult to do. So we're gonna take our shot at it. Oh yeah, that's not good. Okay, so as you see, our gasket's definitely not in good shape, of course, as I expected. Definitely factory OEM from whenever this motor came off the assembly line. Okay, now just gotta find a way to get the harness off and clean this stuff as much as possible. But yeah, we're definitely gonna replace this along with the other gasket there, and you know, see what happens. This might be the sound that we had all along, because keep in mind, our rail is metal, so if there's any noise of any sort of vacuum leak within the intake manifold, it could easily be transferred to the rail and into the fuel lines, which is where I was hearing the noise. So it might not even be pumps or something, it could just be this, but I might replace my pumps anyway as a safety. Alright. Okay, so we got a lot of cleaning to do on this to get our surface nice and even for the new gasket. Yeah, so we're definitely going to do this off the car, and we'll eventually clean the head as well. But I guess I'm going to call it a wrap for this video, because I'm not going to be able to do some stuff for a while, because I'm going to have to wait on the gaskets to come in. I am going to reuse this gasket though, because it was pretty much a one-time use, only for a couple days. So the surge tank gasket on this side will be reused. This side, however, we're definitely gonna take care of this. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys got something out of watching this. Maybe you'll be able to remove your 2J manifold a little more easily. Install will be next video. This is actually the first time I've shown this, so for anyone wondering what it takes to remove, here you go. So once again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.